Hi guys, welcome to Santuario Yoga. I'm Jenny, and today we'll be going through a nice power yoga sequence. You need about an hour. Great quiet place to practice or put on some tunes if you want to. Nothing but yourself and your mat. If you want to use a block and a strap, you're more than welcome to. I won't be using them today. If you like what you see and you want to see more, subscribe to our page, share with your friends, and keep watching. So let's get started. We're going to start in a seated position, whatever comfortable for you. Sitting up nice and tall, and take a second to close your eyes. I know sometimes when we're home and we're doing this practice, we want to keep our eyes on the video. And so just kind of trust what's happening now. Keep the ears open for listening. Start to settle into the space. Start to settle into this idea of allowing yourself 1 hour to really dedicate to yourself, to kind of connecting the breath, the body, the mind. Start to connect with the natural cadence of your breath, just where you feel today. And from that place, start to lengthen it a bit. Find a bit of constriction through the back of your throat, your ujjayi breath, finding that awesome sound of the ocean. It's the best sound on the planet. Letting that sound kind of guide you through the practice. And it's a really nice, beautiful, calming sound. It's something you can practice when you're not just on your mat. Start to feel these inhales coming in, really pulling in everything that you want for the next hour, kind of filling yourself up with this strength and energy and space. And as you exhale, allow that to be a space where you're sort of releasing and letting go. Just the stuff you don't need for the next hour, right? You don't have to get too serious, just the stuff that you can set aside for the next hour. I want you to just exhale that out. Any stale energy, any stale air that's in there, let's just clear it on out. And as you start to connect with that lengthening of the inhale and the exhale, start to apply that same idea to the spine. So allow yourself to be seated really comfortably on the tush and kind of feel those sits bones heavying down onto the ground. When you inhale, visualize the spine and start creating little bits of space in between each and every vertebrae of the spine. Allow yourself to feel as if you were getting taller with each inhale. Rolling the shoulders back, lifting the chest up, finding length in the neck, and allowing the crown of the head to grow a little closer towards the ceiling. Keep this idea of traction through your spine as you move through your practice, creating this extra space before you twist or bend or turn. Beautiful. So keeping that nice long spine, that great posture, we'll just blink our eyes open. Here we are together. And we'll take our right hand, place it down on the floor, allow it to slide out, and the left arm will reach up and over. What I want you to do is firm down through your left booty, your left sits bones. Make sure you're not tilting over to the side. Keep your top shoulder rolling back. So let it be a sense of openness, right? We're opening down the left side of the body. Maybe you can get your forearm to touch the ground, but let's just say we're right here for now. Let it open. Let it expand. Perfect. Let's come right through the center. Bring the left hand down. The right arm will reach up and over. And the exact same idea. You'll find your right sits bone. And you'll just kind of ground down through that puppy. Keep your right shoulder back. Reach through your fingertips. And find this space between the armpit and the hip, right? Sometimes we do this. We're just stretching our arms. But you want to think about the whole side body. Perfect. Let's take those hands back behind us. Take a little bind. So you're just going to interlace your fingers. And for some of us, send the chest and the chin forward, and we'll find this openness through the front side of the body. Beautiful. Slowly come back up through the center, release the spine, maybe roll the shoulders out a couple times, maybe roll them forward a couple times, just like shake, shake, wiggle, wiggle, get the kinks out. And then we'll make our way onto all fours. So finding yourself on all fours, we're going to have the wrists right underneath the shoulders, and we'll spread the fingers out nice and wide and kind of grip the floor with the fingertips. The knees are going to be right underneath the hips. You can either tuck or untuck the toes. That's going to be absolutely your choice. And we'll run through a couple rounds of cat-cow from here. So we're just going to inhale, drop the belly. You're going to flip the tail, broaden the collarbone, lift the gaze without stressing out the eyes. And as you exhale, we're going to round and curl everything inward. So the crown of the head's going to drop down towards the floor, navel towards the spine, tuck of the tailbone. Inhale, drop the belly, flip the tail. And exhale, round and release. Inhale, drop the belly, fill up the lungs, allow everything to really expand out. And as you exhale, pull it all in and release it. Beautiful. Make your way back into a neutral spine. We'll take a sec just to kind of firm the navel back towards the spine, and then we'll start to make these really nice circles. They can be big. They can be small. You can come all the way down and around. Whatever feels okay to you. It's really just to make a little bit of space in the wrist, kind of find some warmth there, open things up. And then when you're ready, just kind of circle back in the other direction. Same idea. We're still aware of the belly, right? We're feeling that firmness through the tummy. That core is so important. You access that core and it gives you great balance, stability, all kinds of wonderful stuff. Beautiful posture. Good. Let's stop in the center. And we're going to flip the hands in the other direction. So you're going to flip it so your fingers are facing towards you. And you're just going to kind of take a sec here to let this settle in. For a lot of people, this is really uncomfortable. Okay, some of us can lean really far back. But look, I mean, I can barely go back an inch. So take your time. Be really gentle with your body. And then when it starts to feel like, all right, you're there. You got it. We'll run through 3 sets of cat-cow from here. So inhale, dropping the belly again, flipping that tail, feeling like you're broadening the collarbone, lifting the gaze. And then exhale, really gently press the floor away as you round through the spine, belly button to the navel, tuck the tailbone, crown of the head down. Inhale, drop the belly, flip the tail. Exhale, round and release. Last one, inhale, drop the belly, flip the tail. And then exhale, release it out. Beautiful. Come back into that neutral place. Flip those hands back around. We're going to keep our hands about shoulder width distance. Spread the fingers out nice and wide. Find a little grip with the fingertips. Don't just allow yourself to be back in the heel of the hand, but allow yourself to distribute your weight a little bit more evenly throughout the hand. We'll tuck the toes under. Take a deep breath, and we're going to push up into our first down dog, but you're not going to go all serious yogi on me just yet, okay? We're just going to pedal out our feet a couple times. We're going to move our body around. If this is your morning practice, you're just getting started, your body's probably feeling a little bit stiff, right? We tend to be stiffer in the morning. It's a good place to practice your strength, right? Sometimes the flexibility is not always there. So pedal it out. Give your head a little yes, a little no, a little, let it hang heavy like a little coconut, a little head banger motion. Let any tension from your face, from your neck. And then let's start to settle down into the place of stillness. So getting your heels to touch down is not easy for a lot of us, okay? So if your heels are nice and high, you can take a bigger step to help you, but it's more the intention behind it. You're going to get there eventually. So just gradually work your heels down towards the ground. And then lift up on the kneecaps by engaging your quadriceps. We have these beautiful active legs. We'll press the hips up and back. We'll hollow through the lower tummy. And we'll aim the chest towards the thighs. And I don't want you to have this intention of arching through your spine. Just think about creating these beautiful straight lines in the body. So this straight line of energy from your heel right up to your tailbone. And then allow that same straight line of energy to run from the tailbone right to the crown of the head. So the neck is relaxed. The face is relaxed. Shoulders are away from the ears. The triceps are wrapping underneath those bones. We're kind of wrapping them around the bones nice and strong. And then spread the fingers out, and you're going to press the floor away from you. And you're going to continue to breathe nice and deep. That ujjayi breath, that in and out by the nose. We've sealed up the mouth now for the rest of the practice. And you're going to notice the distribution of weight. And this is important, right? We want to be really aware of how we're moving, be really conscious of our movements, of how our body is in space. And so are we dumping too much in the upper body? Can we use the legs to shift back a bit? Another round. Inhale. Beautiful. Let's start jumping into firing up that core. So on the next inhale, you're going to lift your right leg nice and high. We're going to get a lot of length through that leg. Take one more big inhale, and then as you exhale, I want you to bring that knee forward towards your chest, shifting forward, keeping the knee really nice and high. And you're now in a plank position. We're going to lower that knee down to the floor like we were going to tap it, and then we're going to lift it right back up. Now look at how high I am on the ball of my back foot. I'm up on my toes. Give that a shot. Let's go for 5. 5. Lift it up. 4. Lift it up. 3. 2. Press the floor away. Last one, we're going to hold it nice and high. You're going to make all this beautiful space to step your right foot forward right between your hands. Drop your back knee down to the floor. Let's untuck the toes. Take an inhale. Sweep the arms forward, up, and back. And we're going to start by creating this mini back bend, lifting the gaze towards the fingertips, allowing the hips to heavy down towards the floor. We want to make sure that the knee is basically right over the ankle, so you can check in with that. But we want to activate the lower belly so we're not dumping everything into the lower back. We're really lifting and reaching out of the waist. Good. Let's frame the front foot with the hands. We're going to lift to the back leg, straighten the front leg, and just say hello to the hamstrings. So this is where we tend to find any tightness back there. So just, let yourself kind of wiggle into it. Nothing serious. Good. On the next inhale, we'll hinge back into that front leg, but this time the back leg will stay off the floor. And I want you to take a second, right? We have right knee over ankle. Back leg is incredibly strong. The quadriceps is engaged. Belly is in. We'll sweep the arms out and up, and we'll take this awesome little crescent lunge. Same idea. Lower belly in. Imagine me in your living room, pulling the crown of your head towards the ceiling. Breathe. Deep breath. Exhale it out. And let's just end it there. Frame the front foot with the hands. Gently step the right foot back to meet the left foot. Meet me in a plank position, and we'll roll through our first vinyasa together. So hugging the elbows in. We'll shift forward about an inch so the shoulders are right beyond the fingertips. We'll lower down halfway. You can continue all the way to the floor if you want to. Inhale through to your first up dog. And let this be loose. Okay, shake and shimmy and move. And just let it be loose for a sec. And then firm the tops of the feet down into the ground. Use your belly to lift your hips up and bring yourself right back into your down dog. And then settle down. Relax the breath. Relax the mind, starting to find that connection. Take an inhale, lift your left leg nice and high. Find a lot of length. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, we'll bring that knee forward into that chest. So again, we're like in this plank position. The knee is nice and high. And we're going to tap it down. Let's go. We have 6 of these puppies. Lift it back up. 5, 4, 3, press the floor away. 2, come up a little higher because you can. Last one, we're going to hold it up there. Breathe, and then very slowly step the left foot between the hands. Drop the back knee. We'll uncurl the toes. Inhale, forward, up, and back. And, it doesn't have to be back. You can just be straight up and down. If you feel nice and open and you want to take this mini back bend, absolutely. But remember, knee is over ankle. Belly is nice and firm. Good. Let's frame the front foot with the hands. We're going to lift the back leg, straighten the front leg, and we'll take a nice big deep breath. Exhale and release. One more breath there just to kind of get a little bit more juicy through the hamstrings. Release the neck. You got it. On the next inhale, we'll hinge forward back into that nice high lunge so the left knee is over the ankle. Back quadricep is nice and strong. Belly is firm. We'll take an inhale. Find your crescent. Reach up. Back leg firm, belly in. Sharpen your fingertips. Reach out through your fingertips. Find your whole body active. 3, 2. End it on 1. Frame the front foot with the hands. Left foot steps back to the right foot. Find your plank position. Take that shift forward and roll through your vinyasa. Lower down slow. Maybe we'll go halfway this time. Inhale through to your up dog. Exhale into your down dog. And take a nice big deep breath. And we're going to do the same thing, but rolling through it just a little bit more fluid. So grounding down through the heels, pressing the floor away. Inhale, lift the right leg up. Find the length. Exhale, bring the knee forward into the chest. 5 this time. Tap it for 5. Lift. 4. Press the floor away. 3, 2, 1. Hold it. Step the right foot forward. Drop the back knee. Uncurl the toes. 1 breath. Inhale. Exhaling, framing the front foot with the hands. Lifting the back leg, straightening the front leg. One big deep breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale forward back into that high lunge. Strong legs, belly in. One breath. Inhale. Exhale and release it down. Framing the foot, stepping the right foot back to meet the left foot. Let's roll through vinyasa together. Lower down slow. Inhale through to your up dog. Exhale into your down dog. And hold it here. And you always have the option of skipping the vinyasa and just coming into a down dog. Okay, if you're having a day that you want to take it maybe a little bit slower. Let's head left side. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee forward towards the chest. You're in this nice high plank. And we tap. 5, lift. 4, belly strong. 3, lift a little higher. 2, a little higher. Last one, hold. Step the left foot forward. Drop the back knee, uncurl the toes. Inhale, one big deep breath. Sweep it forward, up and back. Beautiful deep breath. Exhaling, framing the front foot with the hands. Lifting the back leg, straightening the front leg. Deep breath in. Exhale, fold. Inhale, shifting back into the front leg, and then really setting the intention, setting the foundation. Inhaling, lifting up as if it ain't no thing, right? You got that strong foundation. Perfect. And then ending it there on the exhale, framing the front foot. Stepping the left foot back to meet the right foot. Rolling through vinyasa. Inhale through, up dog. Send the energy of the chest forward. Exhale, using the belly to lift the hips, finding your down dog. Taking a beautiful deep breath in. And exhaling it out. One more time. Inhale. Exhale and release. Look between the hands and just step those 2 feet forward between the hands. We're going to have our toes and heels touch right at the top of the mat. Take an inhale, lengthen the spine. As you exhale, lift a bit on the pelvic floor. Hug the lower tummy in and forward fold nice and deep. On the next inhale, we're going to sweep our arms all the way up, really nice and big. And we're going to meet with a little pistol grip at the top. So we'll interlace the fingers, release the index, and we'll cross our thumbs. I want you to take a nice big deep breath, stretch all the way up, traction of the spine. Remember how we started. And then keeping that height, we're going to reach our upper body to the right and push our hips towards the left. And what you want to do is keep this form of hips and shoulders kind of stacked. So if you're noticing that your bottom shoulder is rolling back and there's this little twisting action happening, I want you to back off on the intensity and get a little bit better on the form. So we're going to shift the weight to the heels. We're going to activate the quadriceps. We're going to find a little buns of steel back there. Firm your belly, lift your chin and your chest, and reach with your fingertips. Now connect with what you feel. This beautiful stretch from the fingertips all down the left side of the body into the left heel. We're going to do one more deep breath for length. We're going to go into the exhale with the intention of coming a little bit deeper. Hold 3. Hold 2. And on 1 back to center. Perfect. Deep breath. Stretch up. Reach up, firm the belly, and then reach the upper body to the left, and we'll push the hips over towards the right. Same idea, right? Sometimes the shoulders want to get funky. We kind of tuck the chin. We're all the way down here. I want you to keep everything lifting. Feel this line of energy that we were talking about in down dog. Feel it now from the heels, running right up the legs, connecting at the pelvic floor, reaching through your whole spine, right out of the crown of the head. And make that this one continuous line of strength and energy. Reach out through your fingertips, firm through your legs and your tush, ground through your heels, zip your belly up. We're going to inhale for a little bit of length. We're going to exhale for a little flexibility for 3, for 2, and for 1, slowly come back up. Perfect. Keep your pistol grip. Drop your head all the way back. Give it a little shake, shake, wiggle, wiggle if you need to. And we're going to go for a back bend. It doesn't have to be deep. I just want it to be right. So start by grounding into your heels, squeezing your butt, and pressing your hips a little bit forward. So from your waist down, you're very, very strong. There's your foundation. Now we're going to inhale. Lift the rib cage right out of the waist. Feel your heart center moving towards the ceiling. And start to take your arms back with the space that you're looking at. Good. Now, as you start to bend the spine backwards, we tend to just dump everything down into the lower back because that's the most flexible area. So what I want you to do is back off a bit, lift the chest, and distribute the back bend a little bit more through the mid and the upper back. So let's take it nice and far. Or not, right? We go as deep as we can, but I want you to find your edge. And let's breathe there together. And slowly come back through the center. Nice. Not easy to do when talking. Take a deep breath, stretch all the way up, firm through the belly, and we're going to slowly come down all the way together. Good. When we get down there, I want you to place the hands on the floor. Give your tush a little shake and wiggle. Bend one knee at a time. And as you do that, I want you to heel toe your feet about hip width distance, or 6 inches apart is a great place to start. We'll hook our big toes with our middle and our index fingers. You're going to inhale for length, shifting the weight forward into the ball of the foot. And as you exhale, you're going to very slowly start to pull with the arms. And there's this motion of pressing with the legs or pushing back with the legs and pulling with the arms to help you get this beautiful lengthening through the whole back side of the body. So we're moving the spine in all 4 directions. Wonderful thing to do. Nice way to keep that spine nice and healthy. And let's just take a second to focus on what we feel. We feel an obvious stretch in the back of the leg, right? But let's think a little bit about the spine. So we lift up on the pelvic floor, we firm the lower belly, and we reach the crown of the head towards that space right between your feet, right? Imagine eventually touching there. Maybe by now your belly's even on your thighs, your chest is on your knees, and you're ready to fold yourself completely in half. Make sure you're in a place where you don't feel like you're fighting or forcing or muscling your way through this. It's about sort of finessing your edges, right? Finding where you're comfortable and then moving a little bit beyond that space and then making that place comfortable and then deepening it from there. It's a process and it's a practice. It's never forceful. Perfect. Very slowly release that grip. The hands are going to come to the floor. We'll heel toe our feet a little bit wider. So heels a little wider than the hips, heels in, toes out, and you're going to sit into a nice little yoga squat. And this is a great place to kind of move around a little bit, okay? We say like get down like a little gremlin and just kind of allow yourself to juice, get a little juicy and lubricated through all the joints. For a lot of us to get the heels on the floor is super uncomfortable, right? So if you're uncomfortable, know everything is okay. If you feel you're down here and everything's groovy, bring your palms together. We'll bring the elbows to the insides of the knees, and we'll start to create this little bit of resistance or traction. So we'll press the elbows away from us, and we'll simultaneously pull the knees in, and we'll be able to lengthen right out of the crown of the head. And that's what we're looking for. We'll take 3 rounds of breath here. In and out by the nose only. Close your eyes if you want to, and just allow yourself to kind of be here. Breathe. One more breath. Beautiful. Very slowly release your hands down to the floor. We're going to lift our hips all the way up to the sky, and we're going to heel toe our feet all the way back together until our toes and heels are touching. Take an inhale for length. On the exhale, you're going to fold. Perfect. On the inhale, we're going to sweep those arms all the way up again, just like we started. But this time on the exhale, we're going to sit it right into chair pose. So you're going to sit your tush into the lowest chair you could possibly find. I want you to look down and make sure you can see your toes. Okay, if you can't see your toes, we're going to shift the shins back. We're going to shift all the way back into the heels. We're going to hug the inner thighs and the knees and the big toes towards one another. Pull your lower tummy in. That'll really give you this nice support to the spine, so you're not sticking your butt way back or tucking the tailbone too much, but there's this neutral place where we are. Reach through your fingertips. Everything is active and fired up. Your chest is lifted. Your eyes are on one spot. Don't even blink. Breathe. Deep breath. Exhale it out. One more like that. Inhale. Exhale. We're not quite done after this exhale. We're going to come onto the very, very tippy tops of our toes. And I want you to think light here, okay? You're not heavy. You're nice and light. You're pressing the front of the foot forward. You're lifting your heels up and the knees up. And we're going to lower the thighs about parallel to the floor. If you start to fall, catch yourself. But kiss those ankles for me. Keep those ankles like I tied them up with a rope. And then we're going to lower the chest about parallel to the thighs. And then we're going to sweep the arms back like we're in a little ski race, sending the chest forward. And take a deep breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Now slowly sweep the arms forward. Good. Slowly place the heels back down on the floor. And now lower your tush all the way down to the ground and immediately take a Navasana. So ideally, we're straightening the legs, we're straightening the arms, right? But maybe we have the shins parallel to the floor. Wonderful. Hug the inner thighs, hug the knees. What I don't want you to compromise on is the lift of the chest, right? We want to keep the chest lifted. I always talk about the zipper of strength, right? So starting at your pelvic floor, allowing yourself to just zip right up with strength. So chest is up. Fingertips are all fired up. Breath is nice and easy. 2 deep breaths. Inhale. Straighten the legs, maybe for the last breath. Inhale. And then we'll come right back to chair. Do the best that you can. Try to place your feet on the floor, hug the inner thighs, and stand right back into your chair pose. This is normally the place in class where we all start hysterically laughing because that is much easier said than done. Breathe here for 3, for 2, and on 1, we'll stand all the way to the top. Perfect. I want you to sweep your right arm underneath your left arm, and we'll find our eagle arms here. You always have the option of placing the hands on the shoulders, okay? What I do want you to be aware of is sometimes we put the hands together and they want to shift all the way to the left. So we're going to keep everything right in the center line of the face, and we're going to pull the elbows down for this first part. We're going to sit nice and low in the chair we just got out of, and we're going to bring the right leg up and over the left leg, and maybe hook the foot. If you're not hooking the foot, absolutely no big deal. This is not the moment to panic. What you're going to do is very slowly start to kind of finesse the toes towards where you want them to go, right? So point them in the direction that one day you hope they go. If you have the foot wrapped, I'd like you to point the toes down and try your very best to get rid of any space between the two legs. Lower belly is nice and firm. And almost imagine that I'm in your living room and I'm pressing the top leg into the bottom leg. I always had a teacher that said that, and it was really a nice way to think about it. Press the top leg into the bottom leg. Pull the elbows down and breathe for 3. For 2. We're not quite done on 1. You're going to keep the arms, but we're going to untwist the legs. Focus your eyes on one spot and send your right leg forward and out, activating your quadricep, flexing your foot. Try your best to square your hips. I know how hard that is. Hold it there for 3. For 2, bend the knee and sail it into a warrior 3. Still keeping these eagle arms. We're going to flex that back foot fiercely, toes towards the ground. That'll help to draw that right hip down, keep it level with the floor. You can do a slight tuck of the chin, but your eyes are on one spot. Your belly is nice and firm. Your standing leg is firm, right? There's your foundation, so connect with it. Make it nice and strong. Perfect. Breathe for 3. Breathe for 2. Very slowly, we're going to sweep that right knee forward and up, and we're going to put it right back into eagle pose. So right where we started is where we're going to leave off. And we're going to sit a little bit deeper because your body's been here before. It's a little more open to the idea. Breathe for 3. For 2. And on 1, slowly release the whole thing. Feet together, untwist the arms, take an inhale, sweep everything up nice and big. And then that left arm's going to come underneath that right arm, and we'll find eagle on this side. So if your palms are not lining up perfectly, no big deal. Try to get the wrists as straight as you can. Pull the elbows down, belly in, and sit down nice and low. Left leg's going to come up and over the right leg. We're going to twist it up. Sitting down nice and deep, and then finding this compression aspect, this strengthening aspect of the posture. Belly is in. Probably we all can lift our chest a little bit, maybe lift the chin a little bit. Lengthen the side body. Weight is back into that right heel, but you're definitely using the whole foot, right? The big toe is helping you to balance. Breathe. Don't even blink. Perfect. Now as slow and steady as you can, super ninja style. We're going to untwist the legs. We're going to send the left leg forward. Connect with your quadricep. Talk to it. Flex the foot. Lift the leg a little bit higher. You absolutely can do this for 3. I know it's hard. A little shake, a little shimmy for 2. On 1, bend the knee. Put it right into a little warrior 3 action. So pressing the left heel back, toes down towards the floor. Try your best to get everything parallel with the floor. Lot of core action here. Tuck the tummy in, right? If we feel this in the back, we know we have to do a little front core work. So activate through that core. Breathe. Talk to the right leg. I want you strong and steady. Nice, strong foundation to build a nice, strong posture. And then as slowly as you can, we're going to sweep that left knee back, forward, and up. And we'll put it right back into eagle pose. And again, taking this opportunity to sit a little bit lower, right? To kind of come right into the place where you left off on the first set, in the first round, and maybe getting a little bit deeper. And you're going to hold here for 3. For 2. And on 1, you're going to slowly release the whole thing. Beautiful. Take an inhale. Reach those arms all the way up. On the exhale, I want you to just bring your arms right down by your side. Take a big, deep breath in. Inhale. Exhale, let it out, let it go, forget it ever happened. Once you're done with the posture, you clear it out, okay? You don't analyze it, you don't get stuck anywhere with it. It's done, it's over. Let's go for a nice bow pose. So we're gonna lift the left arm up. I want you to bring your right palm out and keep it facing out. This is tricky, so pay attention. Anybody who's done Bikram knows this. You're gonna keep the palm away from you, and you're just gonna hook your foot from the inside of your ankle. Don't turn the hand, don't do anything funky like this, right? We tend to want to do this. Palm out, hook the foot. Good. Knees are together, standing leg is nice and strong. We're going to take a deep breath. We're going to power ourselves up with strength. And then we're going to start to kick the right leg back and up. And we're going to move very slowly. The beautiful thing about this posture is it helps to build strength and endurance. So you'll notice your heart rate starting to get up. I want you to allow the foot to pull the right shoulder back. Keep your hips as level as you can. Reach out through your left fingertips, your counterbalance. And let's try to bring our bellies about parallel to the floor, keeping that lift in the chest. Left leg is strong. Breath is easy. We're going to go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now on 1, make the exit part of the transition. Go as slow and smooth as you can, coming out the way that you went in. And then release the arms down by your side and stand up nice and straight. Take a big deep breath in. Exhale it out. And we move to the other side. So the right arm's going to lift. Left hand, you just lift it up. It's right away from you. Don't turn it. Don't change it. Just hook the foot from the inside of your ankle so that little nugget bone of an ankle should fit snugly right in the palm of the hand. Knees are together. Your standing leg is strong. Take a deep breath. Eyes on one spot. Start to go for it. Start to kick that left leg back and up. Our right and left sides can be so incredibly different. So know that going in, okay? Sometimes we're real flexible, real open on one side, and the other side you're like, what the heck is going on? So be gentle, be easy, be smooth. Doesn't mean you're not working hard. Just means you're really connected with how the body feels. Sometimes something that you did yesterday, you shouldn't be doing today, right? The body's not having it. Or vice versa. So don't ever think you can't do something just because yesterday it was tough. Maybe today it feels a little better. All right, enough talking. Let's focus and concentrate. I want you to give me a little push. Let's go together for 10, 9, 8, standing leg strong, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, slowly transition out of the whole thing. Feet together, arms down by your side. Stand nice and tall. Try not to fidget or wiggle or move. I just want you to be nice and still in this place. Your heart rate's probably up a little bit. So use your exhale to bring the heart rate down. This is an awesome thing about having control over the breath, right? You have a longer exhale, heart rate starts to slow down. Road trip it to the very back of your mat. So we'll step all the way to the back of the mat, and we got one more little balancing posture to do. So with your feet together, we're going to bring our arms all the way up, interlace the fingers, and come back into that pistol grip that we started with. Your right leg is going to step forward. You're going to float your left toes off the floor. Point the toe rather than flex it. And then I want you to bring everything down until you're parallel with the floor. Belly is firm, and I want you to imagine that I'm in there and I'm pulling your arms forward and I'm pulling your leg back, and every muscle is now involved. Now you're just going to pause here. Open the arms out into this beautiful airplane shape. And as slowly as you can, we're going to make our way into a standing split. If you've been doing this for a long time, see if you can come down without even touching the floor. If you haven't been doing this, you just started, maybe hands right down to the ground and release it. But we're all going to meet down here. Maybe you can just kind of grab the back of the leg. Get playful with it, right? Test your balance. Breathe. Good. Once we're down there, we'll relax the crown of the head down towards the floor. You're going to imagine that your forehead will one day touch with your shin. And I want you to pay attention to your legs. There should be equal energy through your legs. So we're not getting lazy through the left leg. The quad and the glute are nice and engaged, and they're lifting the leg for you. And then your right leg, the quad is engaged, the kneecap is lifted. We're not hyperextending anything. Everything is supported. Another deep breath. Exhale, release. On the inhale, I want you to straighten everything out. Level it off to the floor. We're going to come out nice and strong. When you're ready, when you have your balance, when you feel really supported, float your hands right to your heart center. Ooh. And then stand it all the way back up. Left foot meets right foot, arms down by your side. Not so easy to come out, but good, good stuff. So stand nice and tall. Take a big inhale, sweeping the arms up. Find your pistol grip at the top, and let's really glue the arms with the ears. That's just an extra challenge right there. Your left foot's going to be the one to take that step forward. Your right toes are going to float back. Your belly is going to firm, and we're going to come all the way down. Arms and ears stay together. Hips stay nice and level. Reach through your back toes. Firm through your left leg. Bring your palms back together. Hold 3. Hold 2. Airplane those arms out to the side. Reach through your fingertips. Touch opposite sides of the room. And then as slowly as you possibly can, work your way down. The chest will lower, the leg will lift. And then let's just put those hands down to the floor. If you want to play around with the idea of going right for the back of the leg, be my guest. Okay, relax the top of the head down. And then connect. Breathe. There is always strength supporting a stretch. So there is muscle involved, right? The right glute is contracted. It's helping you to lift the leg. The hip can be open or closed. I want you to really let that be yogi's choice, okay? Some of us feel better with the hip closed. Some of us feel better just lifting the leg halfway. But let's just imagine we open it a little bit. We lift it a little higher, and that's okay too. One more deep breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Level everything off for me, so square off the hips. Keep pointing through the right toes. And then we're going to float the hands right to the heart center. When you're ready, it doesn't have to be on my cue. Hold it. And then lead it all the way to the top. Right foot steps back to the left foot, and arms come down by your side. Deep breath in. Exhale it out and release it. Beautiful. Okay, road tripping either to the front or the back. I'm going to come to the front of my mat so that you guys can see me. We're going to start with our feet together, toes and heels touch. Standing nice and tall, you'll take an inhale, sweep the arms all the way up, and your right foot is going to step out about 4 feet to the right. It's a pretty big step. When you bring your arms down, you want your wrists basically right under your ankles. Okay, that's a pretty good stance. You're going to keep your heels in one line, and we're going to pigeon toe our feet just a tiny little bit. Just turn the toes in a little bit. Belly is firm, arms are sharp. We're going to lean forward and come down halfway. And I want you to stop halfway, keeping the spine really, really nice and strong and straight. Belly is in, supporting the whole process. And we're going to shift into the ball of the foot, creating this mini space between the heel and the floor. We're going to activate these quadriceps. Breathe. 3. Feel your back muscles working. 2. And on 1, continue down, placing the hands on the floor, but keeping the weight forward in the ball of the foot. Maybe you can even keep that space between the heel and the floor. We're going to hook the big toes with the middle and the index fingers for round 1. We're going to take an inhale, lengthen the spine. That's super important. And on the exhale, you're going to start to forward fold. The idea being to touch the crown of the head or the hairline on the floor right between your feet. And it's like this imaginary line connecting these 2 big toes, and you want to tap down right in the center of that line. Now here's the deal. If your spine is rounding a lot, what I want you to do is put a bend in the knee and lengthen the spine. And then each time you come to your mat, you're going to very, very slowly work those knees back. Lift the hip bones up and lead with the chest. So allow the chest to kind of lead you down there. Let's breathe. 3, 2, and on 1, very slowly release the grip. Hands right under the face. Let's lengthen the spine. I want you to take a sec to really pull that tummy in nice and strong. Chest is lifted. Maybe now we're on the fingertips. And if you're ready, release your arms out to your side. Let's hold here. Use your back muscles. Use your belly. Reach through your fingertips. Hold it. And then inhale, ride it all the way up to the top. Very good. We're going to turn the right toes to the right. The left toes are going to come in a little bit. And we're going to sit down into a warrior 2. So sitting down nice and low, we're going to get the right knee directly over the ankle. We're going to reach out through the fingertips. We're going to open the hips. What I want you to do is connect with the legs, right? So you're not leaning all your weight on this front leg, but you're using your back leg equally the same. So the quad is engaged, the glute is engaged, and the knife edge of the foot is really pressing down into the floor. Once you feel that stability in those legs, everything else kind of grows from there, right? So you start at the base, working the strength all the way up, right out to the crown of the head. You're going to gaze over your right fingertips, zip up the tummy, and breathe. 2 deep breaths. Again. Flip your palms, and we're going to go right elbow in front of the knee. Reach for the floor, but don't touch the floor. Look up to the ceiling and reach to the ceiling. Now immediately check in with the legs. The left leg might have gone a little lazy, so I want you to make it strong. I want you to really press that knife edge of the foot down, fire up those buns of steel, press the right knee back with the elbow, open through the heart center. So these inhales are this opportunity to add this little twist to the equation. Make sure you're breathing. Every muscle is being used. You're super energized and it feels delicious. Hold it for 3. For 2, don't get excited because we're not going to be done on 1. We're going to take the top arm, we're going to reach it to a side angle. Now, if you need a little help, put the right elbow on the knee. Try not to lean too much, but you can put it there. If you're feeling super uber strong, bottom arm reaches as well. Chest stays open. Breathe. Find the strength in the core for 3. For 2. Warrior 2 on 1. Right back into it, smooth and steady. Rest is coming, I promise. Stay with me. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, we're going to cartwheel the arms down. So the left hand will come down, the back heel will spin off the floor, and the right arm will reach up and we'll find a simple twist. And what we want to do is just keep hugging the inner hips, the inner thighs towards one another. So we're not sagging down, right? Everything is lifting, and the twist is coming from the midline of the body. Beautiful. Let's take the right hand to the inside of the right foot, and let's find a little lizard lunge. So you're going to heel toe your front foot towards the outer edge of the mat. Heel is in, toes are a little bit out. And I like to move a little bit. Just create a little bit of extra space. Sometimes the space isn't there. You move and all of a sudden you feel much better. So when you're ready, maybe drop the back knee. And then if it feels good, maybe come down to the forearms. Untuck the back toes if that feels good, or keep them tucked. You can also keep the back leg lifted. Some of us will feel really great with the front foot tilting to the side. Some of us will feel good with it flat. So I want you to just kind of be uber aware of your body. Wherever you are, relax the crown of the head down towards the floor and allow yourself to feel this really beautiful stretch through the hips, through the left quad and the left hip flexor. Any of these classes that you're taking, whether you're going to a studio or you're doing an online video, you want the teacher to kind of set the tone and the pace and guidelines. But the idea is that you're really becoming your own best teacher, right? The idea is that we're moving you through these postures and through this deep connection and awareness of your body. And so you learn to know what feels right and what feels wrong. Let's go for about 3 more rounds of breath here. Don't be shy about maybe a little sway back and forth. Last one. Beautiful. Make your way back onto your hands if you were all the way down on your forearms. We're going to heel toe our front foot right into the center of the mat. And then we're going to inhale, come right up onto the fingertips, broaden through the collarbone. Tuck the back toes if they were untucked. And as you exhale, I want you to sit into this little half split. And what you want to do is feel as if your right leg is drawing back towards maybe a wall behind you, whatever's back there. Or maybe think about the femur drawing into the hip a little bit. So we help to level off the hips. You can move the hands maybe closer one side of the calf. Inhale, lengthen, and on the exhale, fold. Find strength in your right quadricep. Think about the strength supporting the hamstring stretch. Good. Inhale, hinge back into that front leg. We're going to lift our back leg, and we're going to find this beautifully strong high lunge. I want you to hover your chest right above your thighs so you're not leaning, and we'll reach out 45 degrees. Hold it here for 5, 4, 3, everything is nice and active. Breathe for 2, and on 1, find your crescent lunge, reaching through your fingertips. We're going to take a deep breath in. Exhale, smooth it out into your warrior 2. Woo, super ninja style. Hold it there on the inhale. Exhale, straighten the front leg, and then we'll turn the toes in, and we'll meet again in this forward fold. So belly is nice and strong. Let's recheck the heels. They're aligned, pigeon toe the feet. Slowly, slowly, we're going to come all the way down this time. Now, you can repeat what we did by hooking the big toes. Or if you're feeling like you can get a little bit deeper, remember that little space we made under the heel? I want you to slip your fingers into that space. So you're really kind of gripping the foot from the side or from the back. Lengthen the spine.
And on the exhale, start to fold. If you have your hands under your heels, I want your elbows in towards your shins. Shoulders are away from the ears for everybody. Remind yourself that you're lengthening, right? So you want to lengthen the neck, not crunch anything in. So we're not wearing those shoulders up high. We're pulling them back down low. Find your pelvic floor, lift the pelvic floor, find powerhouse down there. Lower belly is firm, breath is easy. And again, we're not forcing, we're not muscling, but we're making this little decision that we want a tiny bit more, and we just kind of finesse our way into it. Breathe. Very good. Slowly release the grip. Hands down. We'll lengthen through the spine. I want you to lengthen right up onto the fingertips. Take the arms out to the side. Firm the belly. And let's ride it together all the way up to the top. Here we are. Left toes out to the left. Right toes in a little bit. Bend the knee and come into your warrior two on this side. I'm going to shift back a little bit. So left knee over the ankle. Sometimes this knee wants to track in. I want you to keep it back. Reach out through your fingertips. Gaze fiercely over your left fingertips. Keep your back arm up. It tends to want to kind of whoop. So keep it lifted. Chest is lifted. Belly is firm. Lower belly is firm. Don't let your tush stick back. Let's tuck it in a little bit. Take 2 more deep breaths here. Inhale. Feel your back leg nice and strong. Again, inhale. Flip the palms and move it into this little triangle. So we'll put the elbow in front of the knee. You're reaching for the floor. You're not going to touch it. You're going to look to the ceiling and you're going to reach for the ceiling. So there's this awesomeness of opening through the whole front side of the body. Picture yourself on ice and you don't want your legs to open anymore. And so there's this sensation of them pulling in towards one another. Really, really strong down there. We're going to take another big deep breath. We're going to exhale it out. We're going to take the top arm, reach it right over the head. So think bicep towards the ear. You can always rest the left elbow on the knee if you need to. Or let's reach and really call upon the strength of the core for 3. Here we are for 2. Legs are strong. Come right back to your warrior 2. Smooth and steady. We know that rest is coming, so take an inhale. Exhale, cartwheel the arms. Right hand down, left hand up. Back heel spins off the floor. And you'll take that beautiful, simple little twist as you reach all the way towards the ceiling. Very slowly bring the left hand to the inside of the foot. Heel toe the left foot towards the outer edge of the mat. Again, we have the heel in, the toes a little bit out. Little sway, little shimmy back and forth. Little creation of space. And when you got it, you can drop that back knee. Tuck or untuck the toes. Keep mine tucked for today. It just feels a little bit better. And then come down to the forearms if that's available. If you're really tight, again, our right and left sides don't always feel the same, right? And these are some of the postures that we kind of feel them in. Just ease your way into it. Your exhale is your tool to opening up space in the body. And sometimes we're a little clogged up because of mental congestion, right? Because of mental tense. We're tense upstairs. So you find a little bit of mental flexibility, right? We clear out some space up there. We relax the face and the jaw, and the body starts to open up as well. One more cycle of breath. Beautiful. Come onto the hands if you were down on the forearms. Heel toe that front foot towards the center of the mat, or maybe heel in line with the hip. Take an inhale to the tops of the fingertips, broadening the collarbone. Tuck the back toes if they're untucked. And you can sit back into that little half split from here. So we'll drive the left leg or the left femur bone back into the hip. We'll flex the front foot. We'll create nice contraction through that left quadricep. And we'll breathe here. You can relax the upper body down, relax the neck, relax the face. One more cycle of breath. Inhale. Inhale, hinge it back into the front leg. Lift the back leg. Find yourself in this beautiful high lunge. Feel the strength as you hover the chest right above the thigh, reaching the arms out 45 degrees for 5. It should feel hard if you're doing it right. 3, 2, find your crescent lunge. Reach through your fingertips. Take a nice big deep breath. Exhale, open it up into your warrior 2. Inhale, straighten your front leg. Turn your toes in. And we're going to actually heel toe our feet until we're about 2 or 3 feet apart from the heels. We'll bring the arms all the way above the head, and we'll pivot and face the left. So we'll face the left. You'll keep your heels in one line. Your back foot should be out about 45 degrees. You're going to take a nice big deep breath to stretch, and then we're going to reach forward. So the same way we came into our nice wide-legged forward fold, we're going to come into this little pyramid pose. Once you get down here, you can release your hands down to the floor. We're going to take an inhale for length one more time. You're going to square off your hips the best that you can. And as you exhale, you'll take that forward fold. Bend into the front leg if you need to. Keep the back leg nice and strong. Driving the heel down into the floor. Imagine me in your living room, and I'm pressing down on that back heel. Lower belly is firm. Hips are nice and square, the best that you can. Relax your neck and lead with your chest. There's always this opportunity to inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold a little bit deeper. Good. One more cycle of breath. Beautiful. I want you to drive both heels down towards the ground. Hug the inner thighs in. Reach the arms forward and slowly ride it up the opposite way you came out. Like I'm there, pulling the arms up, 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 up. And then we'll pivot forward and we'll pivot over towards the right. Check real quick. Heels are lined up. Back foot's turned out about 45 degrees. We're going to inhale, find a lot of length, and then slow-mo, we're coming down, right? So our lower belly is firm. We've got all this beautiful core strength that we're testing out. We're pulling our inner thighs together. We're floating it all the way down to the floor. Fingertips down. Finally, inhale, lengthen the spine, square off the hips, and as you exhale, forward fold. And just refine it, finesse it, work on it, okay? Back leg is straight. We're grounding down through the heel. Maybe we have a kind of a deep bend in the front leg. Big deal. That is why you're doing yoga. That is why you're here to practice, right? So each day, it's about finding maybe a 1/4 inch more. Don't look for these big, giant improvements from one day to the next. It's about taking these little baby steps and getting there the right way. One more cycle of breath. Let's come out super strong. So ground down through both of our heels now. Hug the inner thighs together. Let's bring those palms together. Reach out. And there I am. I'm pulling those arms. I'm pulling them forward. I'm pulling them forward. We're working our way up. Belly is nice and strong. All the way up. And then we'll pivot back forward. I want you to step your feet together. Bring your arms down by your side and stand up nice and tall. Take a deep breath in. And exhale it out. All right, let's go for a little tree pose. So we're not going to do anything super fancy today. It's just simply to bring this pinpoint focus to the body and to the breath. So we're going to take a sec to ground down through your left leg. There's your foundation. So get real nice and earthy down through the foot and feel yourself grounding into the floor. We're going to lift the right foot just to the inside of the left calf. Of course, you have the option to go deeper if you want to, but for today, we're just going to do it like this. Do the best to square off the hips. Belly is in. We're going to lengthen right up through the chest, right out through the crown of the head. Squaring off the shoulders, the right hand and the left hand will come to the heart center. You have the option to stay here. I want you to really fix your eyes on one spot. Don't even blink. And then when you're ready, you can start to lift your hands over your head, reaching up, opening up the hands, and really feeling this sense of growth, right? And lengthening happening. If you feel like your balance is really good, start to shift your gaze up. The final step would be to close the eyes, but if you're not feeling balanced here, then I don't want you to close the eyes. Or you could experiment. Worst case, you fall out. Big deal. Breathe. We'll all take a deep breath together. Inhale. As you exhale, bring the palms back together. Start to bring the gaze and the hands down straight ahead. Prayer the hands right through the center. And then slowly release the right foot down to the left. Arms down by your side, standing nice and tall. Let's go the other side. Right foot grounds down. Left foot lifts up. Inside of the right calf, we'll square the hips. We'll square the shoulders. We'll firm the tummy. And we'll bring the hands to the heart center. Find your balance. Find your drishti. Eyes on one spot. Don't even blink. When you're ready, start to lift up. Arms will reach all the way up. Keep the belly firm. Open the hands out nice and wide. And here we go. Once we feel like we got it, and again, right and left sides are not always the same. So see how you're feeling and then start to lift the gaze. Whoop, there she goes. Good. Breathe. Feel all those toes on your right foot. Feel the heel really ground down, root down. Take a deep breath. Exhale it out. Palms together. Start to bring the palms down as you start to lower the gaze as well. Hands to the heart center. Release the left foot back to the right foot. Release your arms down by your side. And now I want everyone to close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, release it out. Perfect. So we're going to turn back and face the front of our mats. And with our feet together, toes and heels touching, we're going to take a nice big deep breath, sweeping the arms all the way up. And on the exhale, you're going to dive right down the center. Take an inhale to lengthen your spine, and as you exhale, we're going to plant the hands into the floor, and we're just going to step it back into a plank position. So meeting in plank, couple things we want to go through, that the wrists are right underneath the shoulders. You're spreading your fingers out nice and wide, and you're really pressing the floor away from you. It's a really active stance to be in. Feel the space right between the shoulder blades, that little pinpoint. I want you to press out through that space, so dome a bit there. Tuck the tailbone, nice firm belly, firm glutes, firm legs, and even firm feet, right? Think of your base as your foundation, your hands and your feet, so they're nice and strong. We're going to hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1, you're going to keep your right hand down, rotate everything, and lift the left arm up for a side plank. I'd love if your feet were stacked, your hips are stacked, your shoulders are stacked, but of course you can drop the bottom knee or separate the feet. We're going to play around with the balance just like we did in tree, so we're going to look up towards the hand, we're going to lift the hips a little higher, and we're going to breathe for 3, for 2, slowly come back to the center. So practicing those transitions, right? Being really smooth. And then we're going to just roll it to the other side. So left hand down, right arm reaches and extends up. Feet are stacked, hips are stacked. Sometimes this top hip is going to want to roll back. So let's make sure it's stacked. Shoulders are stacked. We're going to look all the way up towards the ceiling. Move your ponytail. Lift a little higher. Hold for 3, for 2, and slow as you can on 1, come right back into your plank pose. Now, keep your plank, shift forward about 1 inch, hug the elbows in, and lower yourself right down to your tummy, all the way down to the tummy. Your hands should be exactly where we want them. Untuck your toes. Picture a zipper at your heels. I want you to pretend like I just zipped you up right to your butt. And now take an inhale and come to baby cobra. Now I am in your house and I'm standing on your feet. So there's no chance those bad boys are going to lift up. You are rocking buns of steel back there. This is a lift and not a push. So I want you to lift with the strength of the lower back. Now we're going to call upon the strength of the mid and the upper back. Keep the height, commit to this height, and release the arms out to the side. Hold 5. Hold the posture, not the breath. Make sure you're breathing for 3. Relax your face. We don't want more wrinkles. Relax the wrinkles for 2. And on 1, hands under the shoulders, forehead to the ground, tuck the toes, activate your tummy, and push to the top of your plank. Push back to a down dog. Woo! Okay, here we are. We're back in our dog. And take a second just to notice if this feels a lot better than the first time you were here today. You're a little bit more juicy, a little bit more flexible. And so it feels better. So settle down. Settle the heels down, activate the legs, press the floor away from you. Take a nice big deep breath, extending the right leg up. We're going to bend the knee and open up the hip. And I want you to really bring that right knee as high up as you can, firming down through your left leg. And then we're going to keep those shoulders nice and level. So that left armpit or shoulder wants to kind of dip down. We're just going to raise that up. Take another big deep breath. As we exhale, we're going to very slowly move to pigeon, but we're going to hover it first. So listen carefully. We're going to bring the right knee towards the right tricep, tapping the tricep, shifting the shin forward. So we're in this pigeon pose, but we're hovering it. So push the floor away. Belly is in. Hold 3. Hold 2. And on 1, lay it into your pigeon pose. Woo! Okay. So your right knee is towards the outer edge of the mat or towards the right wrist. You're going to tuck your back toes and use those toes to extend that back leg, that left leg further back. And a good rule of thumb is that the back leg is about parallel to the side of your yoga mat. So, check back there, see what's happening. Release the foot down, lift the chest, feel this lower part of the tummy firm. Allow yourself to kind of level everything off. And then when you feel really nice, start working your way down. Maybe you're just coming down to your forearms. Maybe you take a couple breaths there, and then you can allow the forehead to come down to the floor and reach the arms forward. Either way, it's the same idea, right, of not forcing or muscling something to happen, of really allowing the breath to kind of smooth out your edges or any of resistance that you're feeling. You want to make sure that you're not feeling any pain anywhere, right? So in yoga, there's no pain welcome at all. It's not no pain, no gain kind of situation. You're going to feel uncomfortable, you're going to feel intensity, but you don't want to feel any kind of pain. So we're real careful with the knees, right? In the pigeon pose, the knees are always the area that we're kind of overly cautious about. So we're going to go for about 3 more rounds of breath. I'm going to shut up and give you the space to do that. I know I'm a talker. Deep breath in. Slow and steady inhale. And one more time. Beautiful. Make your way all the way back onto the hands as slowly as you can. You're going to take a sec here to really lift the chest, firm the belly. So we got that lower belly nice and firm. And there's a sensation of lifting up at the same time rooting down so that we're not going to spin or turn to the right, but we're going to be able to stay nice and level. Now you can stay here, or you can start to bend your back leg. You're going to sweep your left arm back and around. And we're just going to hook the foot from the inside for today. You can take that foot and pull it towards you for a little extra quad stretch, but you can just kind of let things open up as well. Let yourself be tall through the chest. Lower belly is nice and firm. And then slowly release it. Place the hands down to the ground. Tuck the back toes. And let's drain out that right leg. Sail it high. Shake it, wiggle, wiggle. Let it out. Let it loose. Let it go. Walk those feet out a couple times and just notice how different your right leg feels than your left leg. Ground down through your hands. Fix your alignment if it was a little bit off. Take an inhale, lift the left leg nice and high. We'll bend the knee and we'll open up the hip. Let's connect with that right leg, that foundation. Let's keep that right armpit from sagging down, right? Leveling off the shoulders, relaxing the breath. We're going to get ready to hover that pigeon, so let's take a deep breath. As we exhale, left knee towards the left tricep, shifting the shin forward. So you're in this plank position. And we're going to hover for 3. Belly super strong for 2. And on 1, lay it down. Using your back toes to really extend that right leg back, lifting through the chest, checking, making sure our alignment is good. Don't just run on autopilot. Always check yourself. It's also a good way to keep yourself from thinking too much, right? Really keep your attention here. Start to come down. You can always put the forehead down to the ground and reach the arms forward. And again, don't be afraid to kind of ease your way in as you're here for a little bit longer. And we're here for a nice time, couple rounds of breath, so your body really gets the chance to absorb all this information. Allow the tension to come from the hips. Your exhales are your opportunities to let that stuff go. Let's go 3 more rounds. Beautiful. Really slowly, almost like you're coming out of a nap. I want you to wake yourself up. Come onto your hands. Lift your chest nice and high. Let's take that sec to firm that belly and really find the stability there, so we're not going to take a dip over towards the left. And then we'll bend into that back leg. Right arm can sweep around. We'll hook the foot from the inside. And then again, you might be all the way back here, okay? No big deal. If you want, you can pull it in for a little quad stretch, but just kind of go wherever you went on the other side. I want you to go on this side. Keep the chest nice and lifted. Keep the lower belly firm. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Slowly release it. Don't slingshot it. Hands to the floor. Tuck the back toes. Drain that back leg out. So shake it, wiggle, wiggle, whatever makes you feel good, whatever floats your boat. And then walk it out a couple times back in that down dog. Take a deep breath in. And exhale it out. Beautiful. We're going to drop those knees right down towards the floor, and we're going to sit down on the backs of our heels with a nice long spine. I just want you to take a round of breath here. You can even inhale by your nose and exhale by your mouth, sort of clearing out everything that we just did. So maybe do a big one of those. Inhale. Exhale it out. Good. Let's go for a little camel pose. So, don't feel that you have to go really deep if your body's not ready for it. I'm going to walk you through the whole process. We're going to come onto the knees, and we're going to keep the knees about hip width distance apart. You'll place your hands on your hips, fingers down, thumbs on the outside, and we're going to take a second just to move the shoulders, the elbows a little bit closer together, and that'll help you to send the energy of the chest forward. Remember, in a back bend, it's not about going really far, really fast, and then just dumping into the lower back, but it's about distributing it through the mid and the upper back as well. So as we inhale, we'll push the hips forward, we'll give a little squeeze to the buns, we'll lift the heart center up and relax the head back. I want you to go about halfway back and see how it feels. Hang out there for a sec, and then when you feel ready, if you feel ready, you're going to reach back and grab your heels. If that's not available, you're just going to keep your hands on your hips. If you're at your heels, see if you can place the whole palm of the hand down to the heel. You're going to send the energy of the posture forward. So chest up, hips forward. Don't feel like you're sinking back. Take a deep breath. Exhale it out. Hands on the hips, chest up, spine straight. Sit back on the heels of your feet. Place your hands on your knees, and you get like a free little yoga buzz there, right? So you get this fresh energy and rejuvenation running through the spine. This posture can make you feel nauseous or dizzy, sometimes a little angry at your yoga teacher. So, let those things come. Try not to react to them. Try to just observe those feelings and allow them to just pass. Don't give them a lot of attention. Just stay nice and cool and calm. We're going to do that one more time. So we'll come back onto the knees. If you felt very, very stiff, you can open your knees maybe a tiny little bit wider. Place your hands on your hips, fingers down, thumbs on the outside. Take a deep breath, pressing the hips forward, little firmness to the tush, little moving of the elbows closer. Relax the head back. Let it hang like a heavy little coconut. And then if you're ready, reach back and grab your heels. Second set, again, you've been here before, your body's going to feel a little bit better. Press everything forward. We're going to go for 2 rounds of breath. Inhale. Exhale. Resist the urge to want to just shoot right out of it. Stay with me. Inhale. Exhale, placing the hands on the hips, coming up nice and straight, and then sitting back down onto the heels of the feet. Hands on the knees, and just relax. Good. So we're going to scooch the knees a little closer, the feet a little closer. You're going to place your hands right down on the floor, and we're just going to take a little forward fold here. So we'll bring the forehead close to the knees, maybe top of the head to the floor. And it's just a bow down, just to kind of open up through the back side of the body. Take a little mini compression through the front side of the body. And then roll up one vertebrae at a time. So let this feel really amazing to just open up. Let the chin be the very last thing that comes out. When we get to the top, we're just going to roll the shoulders back, palms face forward, and we're nice and tall. Belly is nice and firm. All right, let's scooch the feet out from underneath you. I'm going to face you so that you can see what's happening. We're going to take the right leg out to the right. The left foot we're going to bring in really nice and close on the inner thigh. So I want you to make a connection between the foot and the inner thigh. We're going to flex through our right foot, and you're going to give me a little pressing out of the heel of the foot and the ball of the foot. Kneecaps are facing up. Take a deep breath, stretch all the way up. Belly is firm. We're going to turn to the foot, and we're going to try our very best to hook it at the ball of the foot with our 10 fingers interlocked. What I want you to do is round and compress. I know I'm surprising you. You think you're going to lengthen. But I want you to inhale, and as you exhale, tuck your chin to your chest and start to look towards your belly button, bringing your forehead to your knee. Now, if this is like the silliest thing I've ever asked you to do, and you're really far away, I want you to put a bend in the knee and do the whole process from here. Eventually, the idea is to have the legs straight. We want compression, okay? We want to feel a little bit of a throat choke sensation, getting a little stimulation to the thyroid. I want you to pull your both elbows down. The tendency is for the left side body, the inside body, is to roll up, right? So we're going to kind of knit that in and down, and then activate that quadricep, that right quad. Let's breathe. And then slowly release the whole thing. Very nice. Bring the right leg in, bring the left leg out. You're going to find, again, a little compression of the foot right up against the inner thigh. We're going to flex the foot, kneecap up, take a deep breath, stretch up. You can bend the knee to grab the ball of the foot, okay? There's always that little adjustment there. But if you can do it with the legs straight, beautiful. Inhale. Exhale, tuck the chin to the chest. I want you to let all the air out. Think about creating space to get the forehead higher on the knee. And we tend to we do eyebrows, right? And we're all excited that our eyebrows are touching. Don't get excited about your eyebrows. Get excited about your hairline touching the knee. Breathe, compress, and contract. Hold for 3, for 2, and on 1, very slowly release the whole thing. Awesome. Good. We're going to take our both legs out in front of us. So I'll turn to the side so you can see better. Feet are going to be together. And again, this is another one where we can bend the knees. And let's maybe all start with the knees bent. You're going to move the cushions out from underneath you so you're right on your sits bones. We're going to hinge at our hips and try to get our belly right down to our thighs and our chest to our knees. We're going to hook our big toes with our middle and index fingers. And then you can really gently walk your hips back, but keep the connection of the belly and the thighs. So almost think like my head is going to stay right where it is, and I'm going to walk my hips back. Now, if you're here and you're looking like this, I want you to totally back off. Put the bend back in the knees, lengthen through the spine, and you just hang out right here. But if you got everything nice and straight, keep leading with the chest. And we're going to stay here for a couple rounds of breath. Here's the action. Inhale forward and exhale down. What we tend to do is inhale out of the posture and then exhale back down. I want you to just commit to where you are now. Commit to the depth and see if you can take it a little bit further. So again, inhale forward and exhale down. Now hold it there. Continue to breathe for 3, for 2, and on 1, slowly, slowly release the whole thing. Really beautiful. Okay, so let's go for a nice deep spine twist. So keeping the left leg straight, we're going to bring the right leg up and over, and you want your heel right with your knee. This is how you start. If you know that you have a lot of flexibility, you can bend this left leg. But what I want you to make sure of is you're not sitting on the foot. So the hip and the heel touch, but you're not sitting on the foot. So if you're staying like this, great. Either way, your right hand is your second spine. You're going to reach behind you and get a little kickstand rocket. Left arm is going to reach up. We're going to bring it over the knee. We're going to press the knee back as we lift the heart center. So belly is in. We're twisting from the midline of the body, right? The hips are staying square. You're going to inhale up and exhale, look back as far as you can. And it's the same thing in this one as the one we just came out of. We tend to inhale, release, and then exhale back. So I want you to continue into this idea of moving deeper into the posture with every round of breath that you take. And we inhale, we lengthen the crown of the head up. We find traction to the spine. We exhale, we move into that extra space we created. And you're going to hold it here for the count of 5. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very slowly untwist the whole thing. Allow yourself to completely untwist. Maybe take a little dip over towards the left. If that kind of fires you up, then go for it. If not, you can just swap out the legs. So you can keep the right leg straight, left leg up and over, heel and knee connecting, or we can bend that right leg. And again, we're not sitting on the foot, but it's just tapping the hip. Try to keep this left foot flat on the floor. Left hand is your second spine back there. Take an inhale, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Bring the right elbow over the knee. Use a little oomph to kind of push the knee back. Give yourself that little bit of extra traction to the spine. Excuse me. Take an inhale, lengthen. And as you exhale, look as far back over the shoulder as you can. If this back shoulder is way up here like this, put a little bend in the elbow and drop the shoulder down. Do your best to level off the shoulders. I know we can't always see it, right? So just try to feel it out a little bit. But inhale up, exhale back. And we'll hold here for the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, and on 1, very, very slowly untwist the whole thing. Let's take a little mini dip over towards the right if we did it on the left side. And then we're going to lift all the way up. We're going to extend both of our legs out. And we're going to roll down to the floor really nice and strong. So sitting up tall, flexing your feet, giving your legs some activation. You're going to reach your arms forward, tuck your chin to your chest, and I want you to roll down 1, teeny tiny little vertebrae at a time. So imagine me in your house and I'm stepping on your shins, right? So your feet are not going to lift off the floor. You're going to continue to reach, 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 reach. Keep tucking the chin to the chest. Let's firm the lower part of the back right down to the ground as we lower all the way down and finally release it down to the floor. Oof, good way to get there, right? So we're using that energy to get ourselves where we want. And if you're off your mat, just kind of move yourself around a little bit. So palms face up. Take a nice big inhale. Exhale it out. Again, big inhale. Exhale it out. I want you to just give yourself a nice big hug. So bring your knees into your chest. Maybe grab your opposite elbows. Maybe you're just holding onto your wrists or interlacing your fingers. But give yourself a little bit of compression through your lower belly. So as we get this little hug going, we're relaxing the tailbone and the back of the neck down towards the floor. And we're getting this really nice massage on our digestive system. We're always working the inside as well as the outside, right? And the sensation that you get from yoga, the changes, it really starts from the inside and starts to radiate out. So suddenly you just start to feel better, and then you start looking better, and everything kind of connects. Good. Very slowly release the grip. Feet down to the ground. I want you to bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees just fall out to the side. And we're going to let gravity kind of help us in this one, right? So let's let the knees heavy down. If this feels too uncomfortable, you can just extend your legs out, okay? But if you can, I want you to stay in this little butterfly position. Palms are going to face up. Your arms are going to come out kind of wide. And we'll tuck the shoulder blades under, making this little cushion for the heart, a little mini elevation for the heart. I want you to close your eyes if you're not already there. And this is where I'm going to leave you guys. So stay here as long as it feels good. Once you feel a little bit uncomfortable, if that happens, just extend your legs long. But I want you to release any sort of effort. Allow yourself to be completely supported by the floor. And take a couple minutes to really connect with the vibration of your body. You're working through these asanas and you're coming onto your mat to kind of raise the vibration of your body, to raise your energy level. And at the same time, you're all energized and revved up. You're in this space of complete relaxation and calmness. And it's a really cool place to be. And so taking 5 or 10 minutes at the end of your practice to kind of marinate in that space allows you to carry it further with you throughout your day. As always, good for showing up to the mat. Wonderful effort. Keep practicing. Stay consistent with your practice. I hope to see you soon. Namaste.